out on somebody, and that time Donald Butler and Trenton Tuiasosopo really took it out on Smith in a big way.
3rd down and 7. Marine, the running back. Riley will put it up. Now he steps up. He can run. He'll get the 1st down. And still on his feet all the way to the 15-yard line. I think Washington thought he was going to slide. He just kept going.
But a great job of kind of a Jake Locker impersonation, taking that ball down the field with authority. It opens up pretty well. Riley, who Tedford told us has been making good decisions all year, makes the right decision here, makes a cut right in front of Nate Williams and gets a 1st down. And right now the Dogs just aren't winning on 3rd down in this drive, and it's really hurting them.
13th play of this drive. That was a 17-yard pickup by Riley. Here's going to be a halfback pass, but Marine's not going to have a chance to throw it. It was going to be intended that time for Cameron Mora in the end zone, but Chris Stevens never gave Marine a chance to straighten up the throw.
And the senior Chris Stevens in his last game in Washington has been very active thus far, coming off the edge, and he was right in the face of Vereen. Vereen doing a good job of just tucking that ball away and taking the running back sack.
So Vereen comes off the field, and Job at Best will come on to replace him.
Does Stevens get credit for a sack on that, even though it was a running back trying to throw the ball?
There's a lot of shrugging shoulders going on up here.
He might lobby for it after the game.
Jeff Chapman says yes. If Chapman says yes, it's yes. There's a pass this time to the fullback. That is Will Tafol.
You know, we talk so much about all these great running backs at Cal and what they've done in the run game, and certainly the coaching and the backs themselves and the offensive line should be credited. But this guy, Will Tafo'o, is a fantastic fullback who was hurt last year and missed the whole season. And that was really a blow to Cal. It's been great to have him back this year, blocking and doing what he does out there, catching the rock a little bit too and running the rock a little bit too.
Yeah, and the Jeff Tedford offense, the fullback has always been an integral part. Lead blocker, picks up blitzes. Riley straight back with time over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Sean Young. Nate Williams defending, but the ball was there.
And finally, Washington does a great job on a 3rd down and forces a kick by the Bears. This is a small victory for the Dogs. It was a nice throw and probably should have been caught by
Baran Tucker.
But nice play by Williams.
So Giorgio Tavecchio will come on to try a field goal. He's 7 for his last 8, so he's been on a roll. Interesting guy, another guy that Jeff Tedford just loves. And this one he hits, and he hit it wide. So we put the jinx on Tavecchio. So he's now 7 for his last 9, and the score remains 7-0 California. So kind of a mini break, if you will, for Washington. Well, during select Pac-10 football games this year, a Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance was chosen. Pontiac awarded the school $1,000 to its general scholarship fund. Determined by your votes, we now have the announcement of the Pontiac Pac-10 game-changing performance of the year. And congratulations to the Oregon Ducks. With 50.6% of the votes, the Ducks had the winning performance during the game against Washington back on August 30th. Ducks' strong offense, courtesy of Pontiac. Oregon receives $10,000 to its general scholarship fund. Pontiac is the official performance machines of the Pac-10 Conference.
Speaking of performance machines, what about that Washington D? Forcing the field goal. Tavecchio misses it, and now Washington with a chance, Barry. A chance to move the ball and tie the football game.
Yeah, let's see if it gives him a little bit of a lift. They gotta stop the missed field goal. Here's Griffin. Griffin will not get much. Maybe might have gotten 3 yards, get to the 25-yard line, but again, a 3rd down and 5. The Bears very good on 3rd down, and Washington not so good on 3rd down.
Well, we see Griffin running the ball a little bit, did really well in the Apple Cup run.
A fumble.
We talked about Follett in the open. Just watch him coming off the edge, no hesitation, tenaciously attacking Fouch, and that ball goes flying. And a ball hawk indeed is Mike Mohammed, who comes up with the fumble. Didn't look to me like the arm was going forward at all.
No.
That is a fumble all the way through. Nice job by Cody Habit just making the play on Mohammed. But Cal takes over.
So once again, the offense for the Huskies turns the ball over to the Bears, and when it looked like Washington had a little bit of a break, California gets it back. Here's a pitch this time to Vereen. And Vereen trying to take it to the outside, gets to the edge, and will be stopped at about the 6.
And again, nice job by Haben making the play on Mike Mohammed, who has been on.
This is Best. And Best, nothing. In their 41 appearances. Here's Best on a play fake this time. Riley rolls to his right, looks to the end zone, throws too tall, way over the head of Tucker. And so once again, Giorgio Tavecchio will come on and again give it up for the Washington defense.
Feeling.
We begin the second period, and Washington again in one of those situations where they need to get something on the board here. They're into California territory for the first time, but now looking at a third down and long. They need 7. Fouch out of the gun. Low snap from center. Fouch digs it off the ground. He's in trouble. Mohammed gets him. He fumbles the football. And let's see who's got it. The Bears have this one too. Mohammed just really nailed Fouch. And for the second time, he spits it up, and California gets it back.
I tell you, this 3-4 defense, Bob Gregory's defense for Cal, really coming off the edges. Zach Follett and Mike Mohammed both putting on a good blitz. There you see, going right by Paul Homer is Mohammed, and makes a very physical play on the quarterback. Ball comes out. Mike Mohammed has been awesome this year. He's only a sophomore from Brawley, California. I mean, he's just been all over the place. 76 tackles coming into the year, and Michael Mohammed recovered the own fumble. I mean, that was wonderful.
That's a big-time play. He recovered the other fumble also, as a matter of fact. He's a guy that Bob Gregory was telling us he may be his best linebacker. He doesn't start.
He doesn't even start, and he'll be, the 4 starters are all seniors, but a lot of guys coming behind them, like Bishop, Johnson, Holt, and Mohammed, all great players.
There's Jobbin Best trying to get to the outside, can't do it, cuts it back, but still picks up 4 yards.
And you know, Cal doesn't really bring in the same fanfare or caliber of athlete that USC does in the Pac-10, but these guys certainly perform like they are down there at USC. There you see Mohammed looking happy with those good 90210 sideburns. Looks like he got a haircut right before the game to look good for this final home game in Strawberry Canyon. These guys really perform, and they're starting to have it at Cal to where they're just reloading. They have players behind players, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of drop-off next year, even with graduating seniors, and now they got Longshore in the game.
So Nate Longshore, Jeff Tedford told us he wanted to get his senior some time. He brings Longshore on now, and to give this time straight ahead, Best might have gotten about 3. Nate Williams makes the stop, about a yard short of the first down. And job at Best already at 100 yards.
Well, there you see Nate Longshore. Here's a guy who had a lot of success early in his career at Cal, and then it sort of dropped off after that. Tough time last year as he played with an ankle injury for the entire year, and this year didn't go in as the starters, played a little bit, but it's been Kevin Riley the whole way through, and he hasn't taken the job and run with it either.
There's job at Best once more, and Best will be close to the first down. I think he will get it, and it's all based on line charge that time. There was nothing there. Darian Jones makes the stop, but job at Best will have enough for a California first down. Incidentally, Tad Smith is back in the ballgame, so obviously gave the doctors the right answer.
Must have said America.
Yeah, there you are.
He might have said NorCal.
Yes.
That works as well. Tad Smith in that situation had the helmet pop off and then his head bounced on the turf. And we always talk about it, Barry, whenever we have anybody who hits their head in a football game. Nothing hits harder out there than the ground. I don't care how big, how tough, how hairy, how breathy you are out there as a defender. You don't hit harder than the ground in college football. The ground is a killer.
Longshore going to go up for the first down. Rolls away from pressure. They came to the corner blitz that time and throws back underneath, incomplete. Intended for Tad Smith. Let's go to the sideline. Jim Watson, Waddy.
Well, you guys were talking about Alex Mack before, and this guy, and Jeff Tedford told me, he's just a dream come true. Pac-10 Scholar Athlete of the Year, as Petros told you, that was just announced. He's a finalist for the Dratty National Scholar of the Year. That's on Tuesday in New York, so he's getting on an early plane to go to that. He's a finalist for the Lowe's Senior Class Award. He's a finalist for the Remington Trophy, which is the best center in the country. And of course, last year, he was the Pac-10 Offensive Lineman of the Year, voted by, and this is kind of cool, by the defensive linemen. Studley, good-looking, unlimited potential. Reminds me of a young Jim Watson.
About 100 pounds heavier.
And here again is job at Best. That's one of the nicest 3-yard runs you're going to see.
Make 2 guys miss on a 3-yard run, but you stop your feet, you're only going to get 3 yards. That time making Darian Jones look pretty silly. He is a fun back to watch, and you're going to watch Mack doing his thing. First with the pass set, and then turns that nose tackle all the way around. That's Alameda Ta'amu. And just a really, first with the pass set to bring the man into him, and then turns his body. Just perfect fundamentals as a center.
Absolutely, and that was a 348-pound guy he was moving like that. Third down now. Longshore out of the gun. In trouble. And that ball popped loose, but I think they will say this was a forward pass. Teo Nessheim was coming and had Longshore all wrapped up. So the Bears are going to have to give up the football here.
Well, you're going to see Daniel Teo Nessheim, just the epitome of brute strength as a football player, a really good defensive end for Washington.
Brian Anger will come on to punt. Anger coming off a game against Stanford in which he averaged 60 yards per punt. Just a freshman. He doesn't want any 60-yarder here. And a fair catch going to be called for right at the 8-yard line, and he'll take that, thank you very much, as Goodwin caught the ball, and that might be considered questionable. We're coming back right after this.
The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series snaps into focus. 2 of the nation's elite conferences collide as Kevin Rogers leads Baylor against Washington State. The action tips off tonight on Fox College Sports. Get your seat as the madness takes over LA. The Pacific Life Pac-10 Men's Tournament at Staples Center. Buy tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or Pac10.org.
We don't stop.
I am change. I've been around since the beginning of time.
And not what your country can do for you.
Over the years, I've had many faces. Over the years, I've had many looks. But I've always had the same goals. To make this world a better place by helping those who need it most. To never turn my back when things get tough. And to show that positive can always overpower negative. I am change. And this is what I wear.
The final score, weeknights.
Nothing ball game, 11:28 remaining here in the first half. Do you remember the day the earth stood still for? Well, it was November 17, 2007. I remember it was a rainy Saturday. Washington 37, California 23, and that was the Huskies' last win.
Well, the Cal defenders were standing still on this day as you see Rankin just running right through them. Washington ran all over Cal that day, and Willingham had to be happy with that rushing performance. Hadn't seen a lot of that since.
That is Willie Griffin, did not get very much. Right behind him is a bunch of other guys who can play. Fouch this time gives to Griffin, tries to bounce it outside, and that's not. Well, Jeff was saying too, he played all the really tough teams on the road this year.
Oregon State, USC, all tough trips. They took care of Oregon pretty good here.
Fouch rolling away from trouble. And now he has to unload it. And he just... Right about midfield, short, twisting kick. Thompson might have a chance here. At about the 48-yard line. Thompson trying to get to the outside. If he does, it's trouble, and he does. He's at the 45 to 40, to the 30-yard line, 25-20, down to the 15, still on his feet at the 10, down to the 6-yard line.
Well, when you punt it low in that situation, and Cal absolutely had the return on, you're in a tough spot, especially with a guy like beautiful return and well executed by the Golden Bear.
You can see it coming too. The combination of the short kick, and you can see that wall. Once he got there, it was over. First down, goal Bears. Give it a job at Best again. Best slips by the first man, gets it down close to the 1-yard line. Pickup of 6. Remember, Job at Best needs 171 yards to become the Pac-10 rushing leader. Calavente makes the stop, but a pickup of 6.
And this is what sets Best apart. Look at his ability to break tackles at the line of scrimmage. Even though he's under 200 pounds and sort of known as a track guy when he came in, he is a physical, real running back who does a great job running inside and outside, and we've seen it in this game when he hits the outside edge. Look out.
We always talk about guys who dance into the hole. He does not do that. Here he is again. Touchdown, California. College Football Saturday is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. By Days Inn, the best value under the sun. And the first down marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. Save time and fuel by shopping comfortably at home with Overstock.com. At home with the O. We have 8 minutes and 57 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half. California has dominated the ball game on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They have forced a couple of turnovers, and then, of course, the 40-yard punt returned by Sidquan Thompson, setting up the second touchdown of the game by that man right there, Job at Best.
Vallejo, California's finest, right behind the great rapper E40.
And Dick Bass. Who remembers Dick Bass? Quentin Richardson gets it back to the 30-yard line. has been able to get to the edge. The Huskies just have not against the Bears. Anthony Felder runs down Griffin, who's a little slow to get up.
Willie Griffin is a guy who is from this area, Oakland, California. McClymonds High School. A lot of guys from McClymonds end up going to Cal. Willie Griffin ended up playing up at UW, and he's running the ball pretty well today.
Well, the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Save time and fuel by shopping comfortably at home with Overstock. And the third turnover for the Washington Huskies. And everything that could go wrong in that play did go wrong.
Well, they've had a plethora of turnovers in this first half. That ball just went up, and a great job by Darian Hagan cutting in front. Of course, the son of the quarterback in Colorado.
Well, when we return, we'll send you to our College Football Saturday. Straight back, blitz comes, Fouch in trouble again, steps up, throws a duck, and it is intercepted. Picked off that time by Hayes.
Coming.
Football Saturday of the regular season, and we get into the bowl season. Longshore going to put it up on first down, as all day. Now he steps up, throws, and it is caught on a grab by Mora, and Mora had to wait all day for the ball, but it finally got there, and Mora takes down to the 28-yard line. Tuiasosopo finally makes the stop.
Mora showing Crabtree-like strength in that situation and just standing strong for the ball. Longshore with a good-looking drop, steps into the throw. We haven't seen Nate do a lot of that in the last couple of years with all those lower leg injuries, and Mora's got to wait for it, but looked like all the dog defenders kind of misjudged the football. Donald Butler was there. So was Vonzel McDowell, but Mora pulled it down in spite of those guys.
So the Bears the first down at the 28-yard line. And there's a reverse this time to Ross. And Ross trying to get outside the block of the fullback, Taufoa, and does. And will pick up about 8 yards.
Well, this Cal offense is not lighting everything on fire here in Strawberry Canyon. They started the game very conservative with the zone, and now they're starting to get it going. Throwing the ball to the tight end, running some reverses. They did try a halfback pass earlier in the game in the first quarter with Vereen. With Longshore out there, they're starting to open it up a little and throw the ball downfield.
So it'll be second down and 2. The ball right about the 20-yard line, just a little over the 20-yard line.
It's pretty easy when they give you turnovers, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll say. And here's Javid Best, cuts back up the middle and into the end zone for a touchdown. How quick was that?
That's just fantastic zone running by Javid Best. People talk about the zone and how it's changed football and the run game over the last couple decades, and this guy, even though he's very fast, runs it very well because the zone does involve a lot of patience. Best zone runner I've seen in the Pac-10 ever is Lindale White. But you see Javid Best, a fast guy, sometimes you can be a little too fast and get in the hole too quickly and it closes up. That time he does a great job of selling the front side of the play and then just cutting back with that tremendous speed.
Try for point is up and good by Tavecchio, and it is a 24-0 California lead with 7 minutes remaining to be played here in the first half. You know what I really like about Javid Best is it's no nonsense. He's into the hole.
He's in the hole and he's right up the field. There's not a lot of messing around, especially if he sees it. And there is not a long time between his eyes and his legs. Believe me, I played the running back position. It seemed like there was a year between my eyes and my legs when my career was winding down. But for Javid Best, the explosion in his legs is almost simultaneous with his eyes when he sees that hole. And it is a thing of beauty to watch.
Yeah, it really is. And he gets into that second level. Generally speaking, he's gone. Let's take a look at our American Airlines BCS rankings. And of course, Alabama, they're number 1, and they're number 1 for good reason. They are undefeated. They will play Florida, of course, for the Southeastern Conference Championship. Oklahoma and Texas will have one another. USC just hanging around in 5th position. They're likely headed for the Rose Bowl. They play UCLA today. And Utah, undefeated and really untalked about.
No, not a lot of people are talking about it because they're not in a BCS conference. They played a good schedule and they played tough football all year, squeaked out a couple wins, especially the one against Oregon State, the one against TCU. But you have to say the Big 12 South and the SEC, those were the power areas in college football this year. No argument.
No question about it. Here's Quentin Richardson coming back with the kick. Gets the outside, might have a little room. 30-35 to the 40 to the 45 and out of bounds. Big run back by Quentin Richardson. Well, we talk about the BCS, and tomorrow night you can be there live for the first show that breaks down the new BCS standings, the official BCS rating show. Find out who earned themselves an invite to a BCS bowl game, the official BCS rating show. Tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. It happens right after the Kansas State-Oregon basketball game. Check your local listings for the start time in your area.
Well, you keep seeing
Javid Best with 14 carries for 133 yards. He needs 171, remember, to be the leader in the Pac-10 Conference.
might have a hard time getting there if Washington keeps giving Cal short fields.
Yeah, that's right. As Fouch rolls out on a bootleg and throws underneath to his tight end. And that is Middleton, and Middleton will pick up about 7. It's been a tough day so far for Ronnie Fouch.
Well, you're going to see Trevor Guyton come in and knock this ball as Ronnie Fouch tries to get rid of it. And a really nice job by Hagan just turning around and making the interception. And there you see Fouch telling him what happened. He's saying, you know, that wasn't my fault that that ball was a duck. Guyton hit it.
3 of 7 for 17 yards for Fouch. It's been a tough day all the way around on the defensive side for the Washington Huskies and on the offensive side. Other than that, they've been pretty solid. Here's Griffin. And he's going to be stopped short of the first down at the 45-yard line. Anthony Felder again. Anthony Felder has spent as much time in the Washington backfield as Griffin has.
Yeah, this Cal defense really gets after it. I feel for Ronnie Fouch. He just simply has not gotten the job done in his 8 starts, and it's really hard without experiencing a lot of success. Very difficult for a football player in general, especially a quarterback, to develop the confidence necessary to lead the team and play that position. If you don't have success, it's hard to have confidence.
So now 3rd down, they need 3. I would have to think this is 2-down territory. Fouch going to throw. Now he looks to the outside, can't do it now. Leonard get the first down, 45, and slides down at 42. Warrell Williams was ready to decapitate him, and now a late flag comes in.
Well, they're going to say Warrell Williams went for the head of Ronnie Fouch. Not sure how late Ronnie Fouch was on the slide, or if Warrell Williams had some nefarious intent going after him. There you see the slide. The knee's not down before he gets hit, but they'll probably try to say helmet to helmet. Pretty dangerous play by Warrell Williams.
And there is a Husky down. That was marginal. I certainly don't think it was done with intent. It is Ronnie Fouch who's down for the Washington Huskies. And Fouch is sitting up.
And it's going to be Taylor Bean, the redshirt freshman out of Vancouver, Washington, who will come in. His first action was mopping up the game against UCLA a few weeks back. He's 0 for 2 with an interception in his career. And there you see Fouch. He got hit on the shoulder, but like we were talking about earlier, Barry, his head hit the ground, and that's where the contact is. And he does look a little groggy getting off the field. See him talking to the senior Johnny Curtin as he leaves the field. And there's the man that delivered the blow that led to the blow to the head against the ground, Warrell Williams, who's been taken out of the game.
So a first down after all of that at the 27-yard line, and Bean will be the quarterback. Taylor Bean out of Vancouver, Washington, a freshman. And this is a very, very tough chore for him. Gave this to Griffin, and Griffin's not going to get anything. Maybe a yard. Stacked up in the middle by Derek Hill, another of those McClymonds graduates you talked about. Fouch. I've had to take that test.
I didn't know you played football, Barry.
I didn't. Second down 9. And a fumble again. Ball loose. Polk lost the ball. And he gets on it. But only gained about a yard. Now it's going to be 3rd and long.
That was one of the funniest bounces I've ever seen in my life. George Polk basically chasing that ball around, wanted to get something out of the play because it looked like the end around was set up to get some yardage, but Polk hits the ball off his knee, and instead of just falling on it, chases it around, finally makes the decision to fall on it, falls forward for about a yard. That's look at that ball.
So now it's 3rd down and long along the line. They need 8 yards. Taylor Bean in his first passing situation. And the Bears come to the 4-man rush. Good protection. Bean throws, intercepted. Picked off by Hagan, his 2nd interception. And Bean threw it right to him. I don't know what to say now. A late flag. Probably going to go against California. We'll see. Maybe not.
I think it is going to be celebration on Darian Hagan, who's played with a lot of energy in this game. They said his energy's been up and down all season, but really having a field day in this first half against Washington. The young man out of Crenshaw High School in Los Angeles, California, son of the star quarterback in Colorado, his dad, Darian.
Personal foul. Number 76, unnecessary roughness on Washington.
Oh, there you go.
First down.
Yeah, I saw there were some words exchanged.
That's on Jordan White Frisbee. I guess it wasn't that much celebration.
Just a frustration penalty, I'm sure.
There you see Hagan kind of playing it slow, and then he recognizes where Bean wants to go with the ball and just backs into the route, jumps and makes a very athletic, physical interception. Great job by Hagan in the recognition there in the zone. He was sitting down and then drifted back right into the side of Bean. Kind of baited the young quarterback, Taylor Bean, who doesn't have a lot of experience. Great play by Hagan and a learning experience for Taylor Bean.
And there's still a discussion going on down around the 18-yard line where the flag was thrown. And this is just a calm down kind of discussion.
Well, they have the 2 captains out there. That's Mack and Butler, and they were talking about just relaxing in.
Coming up at halftime, of course, Mike Goldberg, DeMarco Farr will be in the studio, give you all the scores, all the highlights on this busy final regular season weekend of college football. You can still text them. That was Jack Folliard, incidentally, one of the really good referees here in the Pac-10 Conference, talking to both captains, just saying, come on now.
And that's a good thing to do, you know, make the players responsible, talk to those seniors, talk to those captains, and get everybody on the same page about how they want this football game played.
Vereen in the ball game now for the first time. Longshore throws to Vereen. Vereen along the first down. And to get it up to the 45-yard line, Mason Foster makes the play, and that was just pitch and catch.
And that's all scheme. You look at those situations when a running back splits out wide and how he's played, usually by the safety, and if the safety's 10 yards off, why not throw the guy a hitch? That's a first down every time as long as the running back can make a catch. And Vereen is a pretty good receiver. That's his 25th reception of the season. He's done a great job, and Javed Best has led this team in receiving with 27 receptions coming into this game. So very versatile Cal running backs as always.
Longshore going to go up, looking for it all. Throws deep, and Boateng can't quite hang on. Pretty good ball. Hit Boateng in the hands, just maybe about a foot too long.
Well, Boateng didn't really sell out for that ball. I think it kind of shocked him how close that ball was. Looked like it was going to be overthrown, and then Boateng really had a chance to get it. He's a transfer from Florida. Probably got a big senior year coming up. This is a Cal receiving corps that is waiting for the big star to emerge, and hadn't quite happened yet, but they've all been pretty productive.
Yeah, Jeff Tedford talked particularly about Varan Tucker, JC transfer, and that's a tough transition to make. There's a quick screen this time to Ross, and Ross will get it to midfield. He'll pick up 5. Rory Fulgerson on the tackle at the Washington sideline.
You know, you talk about that JC adjustment, and we see it all the time in the Pac-10, and some guys flourish and some really don't. A couple of JC quarterbacks that played in the California State Championship going against each other this year in the Pac-10, and Kevin Kraft, who has really had a tough year at UCLA, and Jeremiah Masoli, who has really come on to be a great leader at Oregon running the football. Those guys faced each other in the state championship and JC ball last year, and both are starting in the Pac-10 this year.
That's right. There's a give to Vereen again, and this time he is really cracked right at the line of scrimmage. Foster, the first man to him, and Chris Stevens mopping up. So the Bears will have to give it up here.
And we've seen physical play from the Cal linebackers, but definitely from the UW linebackers today, really playing with a sense of purpose and with excitement and emotion. Donald Butler, Tuiasosopo, Foster, and Stevens, all four of those young gentlemen really putting it out there. I don't know if I'd call them gentlemen with the way they're playing today.
Huskies didn't have enough bodies on the field. Now they get it right. And here's Anger's kick, a short kick. Somebody might have even got a piece of that, I'm not sure. And it is going to land somewhere around the 32-yard line. That is a punt that Anger would love to have back. 20-yard punt. Somebody got a hand on it. Well, let's take a look in the trenches. That's brought to you by World of Warcraft, and the Bears getting the best of it clearly.
What's up? Well, there's Mohammed. We were talking about Zach Fallen. We featured him before the game. He might be one of Cal's great linebackers of all time, right up there with Hardy Nickerson and Scott Fujita. I mean, this is a guy that'll go down in Cal lore as he plays his final home game today at Memorial Stadium. But this Mohammed kid is pretty fun to watch.
Yeah,
Williams
he is.
and Felder and the guys behind him. It's a great group.
Got to watch him for another couple of years, too. Here's Bean's first completion of the day to Goodwin. It'll be good for 3 yards. 1:27 remaining to be played in the half. And California is going to call a timeout.
Games a year, without a doubt.
And now, we got words flying. I don't think that's what the flag is about, though.
Well, Rulon Davis getting riled up. And a lot of guys getting...
Remember, Thompson returned to punt 40 yards a little while ago. He did not. That should be a live ball, actually.
Seemed like he got out of the way. That was Chris Stevens who was down there, who kind of seemed to bonk into him a little bit and then down the ball. That's pretty confusing punt play there.
Sure was. Actually, I would have thought that would have drawn a flag because he was interfered with. Here it is right here.
There you go. They're saying that he was blocked into him.
There was nobody there. There's nobody there. Nobody blocked him into it.
Thompson did not touch the ball.
No, he didn't.
Did a great job of getting out of the way of the ball. Saquon's always had very good body control, even as a true freshman when he had to play, kind of thrown into the fire his first year here at Cal, and he's become quite a player, one of the better corners in the Pac-10.
Well, there are 33 seconds remaining in the ball game, and of course, when you got Javid Best lining up a tailback, 33 seconds is nothing.
And they still got Longshore out there to run the drill.
.33 seconds, of course, left in the first half. The ball's going to be spotted at the 11-yard line. And we're having a booth review, and while we do, World Financial Group asks, have you reviewed your finances lately? World Financial Group, your dreams, our strategies.
Pretty beat up.
Yeah. There's Javid Best. He cuts it up the middle, tries to get the outside. Look out! He's the 30, 35, 40. Got one man to beat. Steps inside. Now takes it outside and stepped out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. And that's going to be enough to move him into the Pac-10 leadership amongst rushers. What a run.
Move his team into scoring position as well right here at the end of the half with 20 seconds left. Nate Williams ended up finally making the play. This guy just eats up angles. He's Pac-Man for angles. And again there, you see Barry really pushing and selling the front side on the zone and then winds it all the way back and uses his speed. Incredible stop move. And he's moving around on the sideline as he's apt to do. Beautiful run.
Longshore going to throw, does, threw it behind the intended receiver, Jeremy Ross. It'll stop the clock. Wants to give him some time, and this is his last home game. He steps up, he throws over the middle. It is caught at the 10-yard line. And it was Varan. Straight back, Longshore throws over the middle, caught by Moore, touchdown Cal. And that is Longshore's 50th career touchdown pass.
Welcome back to the DirecTV Halftime Show. It certainly seems certain at this point that
blitz is going to be Jeremy Ross at the 5-yard line. And they fake the reverse, and Ross takes it back just across the 50. This is Best again. Best trying to get the outside. Look out. Best at 30, 35. Up the middle of the field. Still at his feet. Midfield. He's gone. 30, 20 to the 10. 84-yard touchdown run.
Barry, I believe you just said he was a joy to watch, and that was before that touchdown run. This guy has got to be the fastest, most explosive back in the history of California football. I mean, he's faster and more explosive than Lynch. Got to be faster than Muncie. There you see running right through Nate Williams and Foster. I mean, the guy, he throttles down at the 15-yard line and nobody's 10 yards near him. I mean, the guy is absolutely a burner.
17 carries.
He's faster than Chuck Muncie, right?
Oh, yeah. Not as big. Not as big.
And no glasses.
And no glasses, that's right. I mean, the guy is really special. Try for point this time is up. He'll tuck it away, try to run with it. He'll get across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll pick up about 6 yards. And then, of course, he started the second half out with this one.
Well, and this is a zone play again, and that time, instead of cutting it back, Best takes it up the field and all the way to the edge and then back across, just breaking tackles the whole way through. And we talked about it, Barry, track guys that want to be football players. And what's even worse is football players that want to be track guys. Those guys are really ugly on the track. Jumping Best is really both.
He really is. There's Griffin, and Griffin with a close to first down. Saquon Thompson trying to tackle a football. Ezef was defending.
Zach Fallen plays with a lot of aggression, and he plays with a lot of speed, and the poor young quarterback, Taylor Bean, had to feel it right there as Fallen wants to put on a show in his final game in Strawberry Canyon.
Been quite a player for his 4 years here. Fallen again. They pick him up this time now, and Bean gets away from the rush and picks up about 5, maybe 6 yards before Michael Muhammad runs him out. First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Shop the company that supports college football. Overstock.com
at home with the O.
Ah, you see, the timing was off.
Well,
I stopped on the wrong.
Yeah, you change your cadence. Of habit, Barry.
I know you are.
So are those guys.
Third down now. And about 6. Being to throw, does so, has a man, Goodwin, but it's going to be short of the first down at about the 45-yard line. Marcus Ezef runs him out, and the Huskies, I would doubt, would go for it, although they seem to be hanging around. And they will not go for it. They will punt.
Well, the Husky offensive line doing a great job of just getting to the legs of Zach Follett, getting his hands down so that throw could be made to Goodwin. Follett was bearing down and looked like he had a great shot to knock that ball down, but he got cut down at the legs and had to protect his feet, put his hands down.
So Ballman will do the punting. Thompson, the deep man. Twisty kick. Thompson could have a chance here, too. Right back up the middle he comes. Tries to step to the outside. Gets by the first wave of tacklers. Stays on his feet. Almost broke that. Got to the 31-yard line. A nice return by Sidquan Thompson. 37-yard punt and a 14-yard return by Thompson. California will have it and have the lead by 38 when we come back.
This week on
(38-0). California leads Washington. They'll have the football at the 31-yard line. Let's take a look at our best buy. Best connection happened right near the end of the first half. Nate Longshore to Cameron Mora for the touchdown. That is our best buy. Best connection.
Nate Longshore still quarterbacking the Golden Bears in this his final game here at Memorial Stadium, and having some success here along with the rest of the Cal offense.
Javid Best will still be out there too. I suspect there's a pitch to Best. And Best trying to get to the corner, and again he does get to the corner. Pops it outside this time, and it's a lousy 10 yards.
That's it? Come on, Javid, you're better than that. He's fun to watch, isn't he?
He really is. They give him 8 that time and even get 10.
Well, the Cal record for rushing in a game is 283 yards.
By Jerry Drew back in 1954. Who could forget?
Certainly not me. I'm all over it.
Flag is down this time, and Best comes right up the middle, pops to the outside, now goes right back up the middle once again, tries to spring it to the outside and gets it to the 28-yard line. This one may be for naught, though. 34 yards, and that would be enough for the California record, but let's see about the flag. Bears walking backward, appears to be against Cal.
Well, Javid Best right now, even if this does come back, just running with supreme confidence.
There is no flag.
Legal. First down.
Well, that 34 yards will put Javid Best over the 300-yard mark. It will be a California record. Now you got to start thinking, he has 311 yards. Now you got to start thinking about the Pac-10 record, which is 357 yards by Ruben Mays.
Well, they're hugging him on the sideline. He might go back in and get it. You know, I'm not sure. He's running right now like I've never seen a guy run at Cal. We've seen some great runners at Cal, and this Washington defense is better than this. This guy's just having one of those days.
He's done it in 34 minutes, remember. Longshore going to throw. Got a man, incomplete. Good job defensively by Quinn Richardson.
Quinn Richardson is going to be around for a lot of these young guys that played for the Huskies this year and Ties last year.
There's a give to Vereen. Vereen comes right up the middle, tries to pop to the outside and gets it down to the 13-yard line. We'll jump off the track right now, take you back to
'80s and would always wear the home and home jerseys when they played each other. It's nice to see it again.
Longshore straight back to pass, goes to the corner of the end zone, incomplete, well covered, but they're going to get a flag. A little too well covered. And again, Longshore going to throw, got a man, and just slightly overthrew Talcoa in the end zone.
We talked about this all year, seeing quarterbacks throw the ball to running backs, and especially when you got a guy with a big neck roll like Tafo'o, you got to put it right on the hands. I mean, you got to put it 1 foot in front of the numbers, and that's a play that a lot of receivers can make, and a few tight ends out there. Definitely Gronkowski in Arizona in the Pac-10 can make that play, but there's not a lot of fullbacks that can make that play. They're just too swole, Barry. Their chest is too big. Their triceps are too big to reach out and get that one.
Pitch to Vereen, and Vereen's going to be able to walk it. Touchdown Bears. Well, the Bears making this look pretty easy so far today, and you got to credit that offense.